Hi, Masterpix family. How are you? I hope you're all doing good. And I'm really glad and uh, I'm really happy to see all those pictures being posted in the WhatsApp group, right? So keep clicking, keep posting, keep inspiring. And that is how we all grow as photographers, right? I'm doing my bit from my end, trying to squeeze in some time, try to review your pictures, give you some comments, tips, techniques, creative criticism. Okay, I'm sure it is going to help you in the long run. And in that series, today we have invited for the benefit of our family, Mr. Soumendra Mukhopadhyay, right? So, a brief introduction of Soumendra from my side. He is a very good friend of mine, a colleague from my ex office, Reliance Industries. He's still working with Reliance Industries in the geo business of theirs, and he is an avid photographer and award winning photographer at that. Okay, so our journey started 8-10 years back when in campus discussing photography, being part of the photography club, and then going to different places, exploring different places, clicking pictures, and that is how we have been knowing each other, and the association is only increasing, and that's because of photography, right? So it is a pleasure today that we have Soumendra. I mean, he's a master of all genre of photography, right? Be it landscapes, be it macro, be it birding, you call any genre, and he has his skill sets up to the mark there, right? But then, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, Soumendra, I can call you a true macro photographer at heart, right? So, yes, I mean, his macro pictures have been really inspiring, and to say the least, award winning. He has won many awards. I mean, I'll leave all those details for Soumendra to tell you when he introduces himself towards the end of this presentation, right? But then let's get cracking with our review session, okay? And Soumendra, just put on your mic so that you can say hi, a little bit about yourself, and then we can start.
Yeah, hello, all the members of the Masterpix. It's really a privilege for me. अमोल मेरा काफ़ी अच्छा दोस्त है. हम लोगों ने रिलायंस के जो फोटोग्राफी ग्रुप है वहाँ से कनेक्शन शुरू हुआ एंड डेफिनेटली वो रिलेशनशिप आज भी इतने बरकरार है और आई होप सो इट विल बी इवन इन द फ्यूचर डेज इट विल बी मोर. And when Amol has started his things, we are very much happy to see that he is venturing into a different world for a different motive and sharing all his knowledges. So, being a friend and having the same kind of passion as we are both possessing, so it's always a pleasure for me to share my knowledges and associated with him in different outings and other places. So, fantastic, lovely. We'll start our sessions. At the end of the session, what I will do, मैं थोड़ा अपने बारे में थोड़ा भी बोल देता हूँ क्या क्या चीजें अमोल ने ऐसी काफी सारी चीज बोल चुके हैं. अमोल तो हमेशा ये लोगों के बारे में तारीफ तो करती है. तो ठीक है, वो तो दोस्त तो करता ही रहेगा. No problem. We'll discuss on those points at the end of the sessions. Let's start from the review point.
Don't miss the end of this video because Soumendra has really brought something very interesting for all of us to explore and see. So don't miss this video end particularly because Soumendra is here to tell us something very interesting, right? Right, Soumendra?
Yeah, of course. Right.
Great, great, great. So let me share the screen. Okay, so here we are. So this is review session number 11, right? So Soumendra, I'm happy to tell you that we are a big family growing every day. So about 200 students are part of the group, which would benefit from your advice and comments, right? So they are looking forward to it. Yes, Ashok Banerjee.
Okay.
Ah, I mean, Soumendra, your views first.
Yeah, sure. Right. So yeah, it's a kind of macro kind of photo, definitely. The droplets I can see on the lips. Acha Amol, Hindi and English, I think both will be
Yes,
okay, right, to
yes,
use
yes. In the English is okay.
it. Okay. So it's a good morning kind of image. The patterns and other things I can see it. But I have few feedback for any of the images, say for flower images. See, the beauty can be seen from different sides. अलग अलग दिशा से अलग अलग flower दिखते हैं. तो normally क्या होते हैं? Whenever any image we see, the frontal sections is always, as per me actually, except some there are some few exceptions. Frontal section of anything is always gives a different connections in between. Like I am talking to you, okay, I am facing you. So in generic perception, the patterns are very good, but it gives a good different kind of, you can say, interaction. This is first idea from my side. Next thing is that when there is a good contrast, the image always pops up. तो ये जो इमेज है इसके अंदर से डिटेल्स अच्छा है, ये सब चीज कैप्चर किए जो ड्रॉपलेट्स हैं, लेकिन जो बैकग्राउंड और जो फोरग्राउंड का जो कॉन्ट्रास्ट है ना, इट इज नॉट दैट मच ऑफ गुड. सो either if it is evenly a very light color background, even the background is not, or it will be totally dark, so the image will get popped up or give some different perspective.
Mhm.
So these two are the main things from my side. Amol, kya bolo?
Right, right. I mean, yes, Soumendra, point well taken. Uh, I mean, regarding your first point, the frontal section, okay, and I think this is where this particular picture is different. I mean, it is breaking the rule, kind of, isn't it? I mean,
Yes.
everybody does the frontal section, and then this is like a back view of the flower. So that
Hmm.
is what is actually working, I think, in this picture, favor of this picture. But then, yes, I mean, you always follow the rule, but once in a while you can break the rule for greater creative pursuits.
And one more thing also, Amol, just in between, sorry to interrupt you. As if image is little bit tightly cropped, there should be some extra breathing space, as per me, especially on the top and bottom, would have been a better. Okay, right, done.
Right.
Good, good, good things, nice things.
Great. See, again, the same flower, different angle, but then the same perspective, a back end picture, but a black and white picture at that.
But
Absolutely.
here the bokeh is actually creating better effect than the earlier image, as you can see. The same image which was earlier, perspective whether it's back and forth, and और एक चीज है जो थोड़ा सा टाइट क्रॉप है, इसको स्लाइटली ब्रीदिंग स्पेस मिल जाए तो और भी अच्छा रहेगा.
Right, right. But then any day it can be printed and framed and put on the wall. I would say that,
Right. That
isn't
is
it?
sure. This bokeh effect is actually giving very good contrast. You can see what I was telling ना. इसके पीछे
Yes,
का जो background effect है, when it is transferred to the monochrome ना, ये image और भी ज़्यादा pop up हो रहा है, and water droplet से लेकर के पीछे का जो contrast है, it's giving very good perspective.
right,
Yeah.
right. So Ashok Banerjee, good going. Keep clicking and keep
Sure.
inspiring our fellow students as well. Mandar Mantri. Okay, a portrait of a sweet little girl, right? And I'm in full marks for the model, I would say. Cuteness overloaded. So nothing can go wrong in this picture, even if the technicalities are not in place.
Correct.
The model would manage everything here. But then, having said that, what I feel the best thing about this particular picture, apart from the cute model, is um, the catchlight in the eye,
Mhm.
right? So the catchlight is actually giving that twinkle in the eye, and which is creating life in the picture. Okay.
Yes.
Otherwise, I think a little underexposed, a little underexposed. I mean, थोड़ा brightness और चल जाता था,
Mm.
right?
And it's
But
very
then,
challenging, all you know it ना, for kids to take the mood and to have the moment. वो कितना लाइट के सामने रहेगा, कितना, because it is natural light portrait. तो that is a very very challenging thing until unless ये थोड़ा सा post processing के अंदर से हम लोग थोड़ा उसको improvement करें.
yes,
मतलब on the spot.
I think you got it right. It's lacking a little bit in post processing. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's perfect that way. Again, the right moment captured here.
Yes.
Ca- So I think with kids, that's the most important thing. I mean, capture the moment.
Yeah, as per me, it is a yellow-footed green pigeon, or it can be red-footed green pigeon also. कोई भी हो सकता है, कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Right.
क्लोजअप इज वेरी गुड, आई लाइक इट, बट थोड़ा सा क्या होता और भी अच्छा इमेज होता था. मतलब नॉर्मली हम लोग क्या कोशिश करते हैं वर्ल्ड ऐप में, जितना क्लटर दूर हो उतना अच्छा है.
Mhm.
तो डिटेल्स, शार्पनेस, फोकस, एवरीथिंग इज राइट. बट थोड़ा कभी कभी क्या करना पड़ता है, यूजर नीड टू जस्ट give some extra time to put some more extra hours. It may be not only single day, 2 3 days more and more. तो मुझे ऐसे याद आ रहा है, इन सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ येलो फुटेड ग्रीन पिजियन आई शूट वन इन भरतपुर. तो भरतपुर के अंदर बहुत सारे पेड़ के ऊपर से ऐसे रहते हैं.
Yes.
तो यू नीड टू जस्ट वेट एंड वॉच एंड सी व्हेन इट कम्स फ्रॉम द ऑल द ट्विग्स, क्योंकि वो अपने आप को छुपाने के लिए ऐसी जगह पे बैठे रहेगा. सो दैट इज हिज and our task is to see the moment it will just come out from there and take a better picture. But from focus perspective, everything, I like it. Very nice,
Yes,
very
yes.
nice, very
I
nice.
think the clutter could have been avoided, but then, nevertheless, since the twigs are not falling on the eyes or the face, I think it's still workable. Only thing, too tightly cropped, I feel. I mean, a little bit breathing space, as always, helps enhance the picture. So that would be my advice, Lineshwarji. So I hope you'll take care of it in your next picture.
मुझे पता नहीं एग्जैक्टली स्केप है या रिवर्स स्केप है, बट
Okay.
थोड़ा पीछे हॉराइजन दिख रहा है, तो मेरे हिसाब से शायद ये रिवर्स स्केप ही होगा. एंड
Mhm.
मॉनसून टाइम, क्लाउड इज देयर एज एन इमेज इटसेल्फ. हाँ, पूरा एकदम पूरा सुनसान, एक पूरा मतलब कोई आसपास में नहीं है, एकदम पूरा शांत जगह है. एंड व्हाट आई लाइक इट मोस्ट दैट, हाँ, इमेज के अंदर से एक्सपोजर अच्छा कंट्रोल किया गया है. छोटा छोटा
Mhm.
सेक्शंस के ऊपर से जैसे लाइट है, पूरा उसका द शाइनिंग ऑफ द लाइट इज देयर. So these are the good texture of the cloud in different sections. थोड़ा सा सन के सेक्शन में आई एम नॉट एबल टू सी अमोल डिटेल्स में कितना सन का थोड़ा सा वहाँ पर एक्सपोजर कितना कंट्रोल हुआ है. तो जनरली नॉर्मली क्या करते हैं हम लोग, सारे जितने सारे इमेज के अंदर से सन दिख जाते हैं या सन जस्ट थोड़ा यहाँ पर है ना,
Mhm.
those images try to underexpose in the condition that nothing got burnt out. तो कोई चीज के अंदर, इमेज के अंदर कुछ चीज अगर थोड़ा सा भी ओवर एक्सपोज हो जाए, इट्स प्रेटी डिफिकल्ट इवन रॉ इमेज खींचने से भी ना उसको रिकवरी करना. तो
Mhm.
ये ध्यान में रखना पड़ता है. अगर इंडिया इमेज अंडर एक्सपोज है, उसको
Mhm.
हम लोग पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग में उसको एनहेंस कर सकते हैं फ्रॉम द रॉ. बट इस
Okay.
इमेज इफ एनीथिंग गॉट बर्न्ट आउट, इट्स प्रैक्टिकली इम्पॉसिबल टू रिकवर द डिटेल्स फ्रॉम दैट सेक्शन. तो बट
Right, right, right.
ये वही जो फीडबैक है.
Right.
व्हाट
So my take on this particular picture is seascapes with beautiful clouds and then the sun peeking out. Okay, but then there is this element is missing. I mean, the point of interest somewhere, a boat maybe in the sea or some element which would have actually enhanced the picture. So I find that missing, particularly a boat. Okay, so maybe at that point in time there was no activity in the sea, but then nowadays it's very easy to put a boat. Have you explored Soumendra, the Photoshop's beta version?
नो नॉट रियली. आई एक्चुअली 2023 का जो वर्जन है उसका बीटा वर्जन मैं ट्राई नहीं किया हूँ, क्योंकि मेरा कंटिन्यूअस काम चलते हैं, तो कुछ कुछ वर्क फ्लो रहते हैं जो डिफाइंड है. तो बीटा
Right,
वर्जन तो
right.
मैं ट्राई नहीं किया हूँ. बट एआई का जो टूल फीचर इंक्लूडेड हुआ है फोटोशॉप के अंदर से,
Yes,
especially for selection, for enhancement, even some to some extent replacement. So they are improving day by day. They are
yes,
doing it
yes.
awesome.
I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's a cakewalk. I mean, I could have just selected a square here, and in the prompt, I could have written a boat, and Photoshop would have been AI would have kicked in and giving a boat, and the boat would have match with the lighting conditions. That's the best part about it. Chittaranjan, I think uh, the point of interest is missing, and therefore somewhere the picture is not working for me. But yes, as far as the other elements are concerned, the sky, the sun, and the water, good. Keep it up. Only one advice. Normally, in these kind of pictures, exposure is a real challenge. Okay,
Yes,
so I would encourage you to go for HDRs in these kind of pictures, isn't it, Soumendra? HDR
yes.
really works. The highlights and shadows.
Yes,
You
mainly in
do,
the processing, we need to take care of these things so that it should not be too unrealistic, but it should take out all the details where it is necessary and beyond the dynamic range of our camera.
right. Again, beautiful seascape, beautiful clouds, the sun rays coming through it. Absolutely working wonderful. But the point of interest, a boat, a boat here on the one third line, it would have done wonders.
Yeah, and
Any,
also all अपना जो classical rule of third है, so it is not exactly to that, it is almost in the middle section क्योंकि पानी के नीचे के हिस्से में कुछ interesting subject है नहीं, तो we could have cropped some section in the sea and sky का और थोड़ा ऊपर का section दिखा सकते थे, which would have been even given more appeal rather
right,
than big
right.
horizon in the center as per me.
Absolutely, good observation, Somendra. I was talking about the vertical rule of third, a boat here on the one third, but then
Yes.
you managed to give us inputs on the vertical as well. So the water level could have been at this level, one third level, right? Na?
Would
So
have been
that's
even more appealing because sky is full of texture and it is very nice cloudscape, right?
yes,
So more we can see it, the more it will be attractive to us.
yes,
Mera, I this last seascape workscape workshop what I have taken. So we waited the time, and then when the cloud just went down, the sun went peeping into inside
uh-huh.
because our all our western western Ghat coasts, right from अपना मुंबई का कोस्ट से लेकर के पूरा रत्नागिरी तक, मतलब
Mhm.
they are really amazing up to the Goa. There are several unknown beaches, several less explored beaches, less crowded beaches. तो जिसके
Okay,
अंदर से we could have taken very nice photographs, right? Yeah.
right, right. So Chittaranjan, I hope the feedback you will keep in mind.
Normally, see, the shutter speed plays a big role when you are trying to capture something which is in on flow. It may be the cloudscape, it may be the riverscape, it may be the seascape, everything, right?
Yes.
तो ये इमेज के अंदर से मैं देख रहा हूँ जो वाटर का फ्लो आ रहा है, यस हियर शोन द वाटर इज कमिंग फ्रॉम वन स्टेज टू अनदर स्टेज. व्हाट एज पर मी द इमेज एक्चुअली ना, नॉर्मली कोई लैंडस्केप के अंदर से जो तीन एलिमेंट रहते हैं ना, मतलब फोरग्राउंड मिड ग्राउंड बैकग्राउंड, तो थोड़ा सा मेरा जो विजन है ना, एज पर मी इट्स अ वेरी माय ओन पर्सनल व्यू, थोड़ा सा विजन अटक रहा है, थोड़ा सा पीछे की तरफ अगर और थोड़ा वी कुड हैव कैप्चर्ड समथिंग, और माइट बी इन दैट कंडीशन इट वाज नॉट पॉसिबल फॉर द फोटोग्राफर चित्तरंजन को, अगर वो होता तो इमेज के अंदर और भी अच्छा अपील मिल जाता था.
Yes,
तो अलॉन्ग विद कॉम्बिनेशन थोड़ा सा ये भी इमेज मुझे थोड़ा सा
yes.
ज्यादा क्रॉप लग रहा है, मतलब विजन जो है वाटर फ्लो का ना बहुत दूर से आ रहा है, तो ऐसे देखने से और थोड़ा सा इसका अपील बढ़ जाता था.
Right. And I think that's because of the angle that he has taken.
हम्म.
It's too top down approach he has taken. He could have gone down at the water level and then click the picture, isn't it?
Yes,
So,
right. A little bit above, say for few feet or 1 or 2 feet ना,
yes,
probably
yes.
उसको ज्यादा दूर तक देखने के लिए भी मौका मिल जाता था, अपना जो ये भी इफेक्ट मिल जाता था वो भी.
And this stone would have actually played a pivotal role in that particular composition, right? With a slow
Absolutely
shutter speed deployed, the water would have become milky and
correct.
foggy, and the stone would have stood there shining, and it would have given you that perspective. So the top-down approach is not working in this picture, and definitely no thought has been put for giving motion blur, which
Hmm.
should work for these kind of pictures. So Chittaranjan, okay, we would expect better results the next time around. Yes. So lot of landscapes in the
Yes,
group this time.
right. I love the sky. It's a very nice sky. Definitely, it's a very lovely color. And love with the sky. But only thing is that first learning is that horizon is little bit tilted. Any images we should click, the horizon is supposed to get at least straight line. Uh, we can correct it very easily, very quickly in Photoshop, even in the normal camera tool also, post processing. And next thing is that the sky is very good. See, we can see the shore itself, but as Amol you are telling, some object is missing also into this picture. एक object रह जाता तो it would give an even a better, you can say, perspective.
Right. So, Venkatesh, no matter how beautiful the landscape is, I mean, you have to instill some life into it with the help of point of interest. Okay, so that your audience's view, I mean, eyesight gets locked on to that particular point of interest. It could be a stone, it could be a boat, it could be a light tower. Something has to be there. Okay,
Yes.
so that it gets locked onto that particular point of interest, and it starts exploring the picture around it. So that is how you try and grab attention of your audience. Your forte, Soumendra.
Yeah.
Over to you.
Yeah, okay, Kartikan. I can see the image of a dragonfly here. The dragonfly's eyes, it is sitting because this is a typical posture for any dragonfly to sit on the edge and the twig, okay, and to do this thing. Now, I have 3 4 points to mention you about this image. See, it's a almost a macro kind का image है, will not marsh hawk actually that you have rightly pointed out. So it's a broader category of dragonflies and damselflies, which is a bigger genre of consider flies. तो ये image के अंदर से normally the three kind of things, either you have something which is a very typical behavior of this type of insects. You have taken the full picture of the things object, no problem, it's a very nice, but still I can find it if you go for a very specific section of the insect, showing either to the head sections or with some background, either sun is setting down or it is just going to about to fly or about to sit. These kinds of action points are much more necessary to make the image even more appealing. What I can see, it's a very good, you have taken the image with proper sharpness, but few of the cases background is also smooth so that we can able to make a proper distinction of the subject from the background. But if frontal वाला जो twig है ना, this twig is also actually creating a little bit distraction to me, frankly speaking. If it would not been there, you need to just wait because they move on keeping from hopping from one place to another, one place to another. तो थोड़ा उसको ध्यान रख करके नेक्स्ट टाइम ट्राई करो तो इमेज और भी बढ़िया रहेगा.
Right. And Somendra, I mean, let me just tell you on behalf of my students. I mean,
Yes,
many of them are beginner photographers, so their kit is, I mean,
correct.
the basic kit lenses. Most
Yes.
of them. Okay, I'm not sure whether this one is a macro lens. Do you think it's a macro lens? I don't think so, na?
No, it may be a
Zoom
short
lens.
tele lens, हाँ short tele zoom lens. जहाँ तक मुझे लग रहा है ये इसका
Right.
इमेज देख कर.
So not many people, students would be having a macro lens, but definitely, I think one. I mean, we should have one session on macro photography with your expertise
Yeah,
someday, so that
absolutely.
many macro photographers get inspired and they actually go in for a purchase of a macro lens if they are
Yeah,
serious enough, right?
yeah, correct. I always advise that if you are serious enough, then only go for the macro lenses because
Yes.
it's expensive. It's a very good lens, but it's an expensive lens. It's not all purpose. It's a very dedicated purpose lens. Right.
Kerala backdrop.
Absolutely.
KV
L-
Aditya.
LP, yes.
Hmm. I mean, in Kerala, you point your camera any direction, it's going to be a perfect landscape, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So the location has its own charm,
Absolutely. Right.
right? I mean, as a photographer, you have to do justice to that particular picture. I mean, that is my only say in this picture. That okay,
Correct.
good landscape, beautiful trees, water, boat, but then still that. Something is missing. I don't know. It's not
Our
compelling for me.
yes, frankly speaking, एक्चुअली ये इमेज और भी अच्छा हो सकता था, बहुत ही अच्छा हो सकता था क्योंकि स्कोप ऐसे ही तुम जैसे बोल रहे हो केरला के अंदर से. ये क्या हुआ थोड़ा सा ना सारे चीज मिक्स हो गया है. मतलब ये पीछे का जितने सारे लोग आए हैं ना इसका जो ये है तो इसके साथ बोल्ड बोल्ड भी थोड़ा मिक्स हो गए, तो थिंग्स ना इज नॉट कमिंग अप समथिंग व्हिच इज एक्चुअली अपीलिंग, फ्रैंकली
Mm.
स्पीकिंग.
Right, right, right.
वी कैन
Yes,
ट्राई टू पर्सपेक्टिव, शायद आउटडोर इमेज के अंदर से अच्छा पर्सपेक्टिव होगा, अमोल देखो.
yes, आप देखते हैं आगे. Right.
थर्ड में जो
Okay.
है मुझे बहुत अच्छा
Maybe
लगता है.
the clutter here is not working in this picture. Right.
राइट.
ये लोगों का जो clutter है.
इट्स नॉट आल्सो वेरी
Right. See,
लाइट.
you are right. So this particular thing, I think it's better than the previous one,
Yes,
isn't it?
absolutely. It is much better than the previous one. Even it is giving something color perspective a little bit good, a frame kind of thing in there, but still there are some more improvements which can be done. जैसे राइट साइड वाला जो पेड़ है ना, जो नारियल पेड़ के ये सारा सेक्शन है, वो सेक्शन इतना कुछ मतलब इमेज के अंदर कुछ कंट्रीब्यूट नहीं कर रहा है, ये वाला सेक्शंस. ही
Right.
कुड हैव गिवन अ लिटिल बिट फ्रेम टू द लेफ्ट साइड ना, ये वाला जो नारियल पेड़ है इसको लेकर के और थोड़ा बाएं तरफ ये दिखा के.
Mm.
नॉर्मली वी ट्राई टू अवॉइड एनी क्रॉपिंग, जैसे लेफ्ट वाला जो बोर्ड है ना वो सेक्शन थोड़ा क्रॉप हो गया. नॉर्मली
Mm.
we try to see the full scape of any things. That's always preferable. That's always
Right,
good.
right, right. I mean, the main attraction in this particular picture is the leaning coconut tree here, and
Absolutely.
the beautiful spread of it leaves. Okay, so this is the main, I mean, the point element in this particular picture. So, how to enhance that particular element should be the focus or objective of the photographer. So, as rightly pointed, the framing should have been avoiding the right hand side the clutter, so keeping only the main slanting coconut tree with the boats and things like that, right?
Yes. Yeah, I keep on trying on some other different frames. What I suggest, yeah, it's a, I think it's a slow shutter come panning effort.
Panning
Uh,
technique, yes, yes.
बट थोड़ा सा और प्रैक्टिस चाहिए पैनिंग करने के लिए. इट्स नॉट सो
Absolutely.
इजी द पैनिंग, क्योंकि पैनिंग के अंदर से ये होना जरूरी है जो सब्जेक्ट हो वो अच्छा खासा शार्प आए. मतलब
Mm.
the moves, the speed of the subject and speed of the camera both should match.
Yes.
And बहुत प्रैक्टिस करने के बाद ये चीज आते. Even if you tell me to do it upfront for any of the subject at any point of time, I think it's pretty difficult for anyone to do so. इसके लिए
Right.
बहुत से करके फिर फाइनली वी कैन एबल टू डू इट. ऑल्सो दूसरी चीज है, पेनिंग के सब्जेक्ट के बैकग्राउंड भी बहुत ज्यादा मैटर करते हैं. तो जितना कॉन्ट्रास्ट आ रहा है, जितना कलर आ रहा है ना, और ये
Mm.
सामने वाला छोटा ऑटो का सेक्शन तो दिखाने का मतलब इट इज नॉट एक्चुअली गिविंग एनी, यू कैन से it is just a distraction, small distraction. It can be
Yes,
cropped.
absolutely. So I totally agree with you, Soumendra. The subject is not focused.
Hmm.
Okay, and secondly, the background is pretty dark. Okay, so there should be it should be a colorful, vibrant background, greens, trees, bushes, graffiti, anything that would add pop to the color, and the motion blur would actually enhance that. So that is not there in this picture, isn't it? So let's see if Mandar. I think you need to practice. I think most of the pictures are similar, same location, so you can't expect the background to change drastically, right? It's too dark without much of colors, and that is not working here.
I think there is a car photo I can see. Amol, if you just proceed, yes.
Yes,
But the background, yes, it is having some lines and patterns, but unfortunately what is happening, image got cropped, number one,
yes.
and the light in the windscreen also got overexposed. So these two
Mhm.
things we need to also take care.
Yes,
Right.
yes. I think Rajshekhar. I mean, they have been practicing it recently only. With
Absolutely.
time, I'm sure they would improve, because this was one of my assignments given to them
Mhm.
based on a video that I had created on panning. So they have watched the video and tried to implement it.
But good
Uh,
thing that they are trying it, they are trying to do something, they are putting their efforts. That's
right.
really appreciable.
Yes, yes.
Very good that
That,
thing.
that that's a very good thing about the Masterpix group. Everybody is quite enthusiastic, isn't it? I mean, you are also part of the photo walk, the street photography. So I am a little, amateur in this particular genre, walking on the streets and clicking pictures and trying to find art in it. So, do you see anything which you'd like to comment?
The cap picture that you were sharing, right, by Mandar,
Yes, 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 yes.
it could have been even better because this is a perspective needs to be a little bit tried. A different perspective could have been better.
Chalo, let's see some exotic birds.
Okay, so Mr. Nair, yes, created. I believe this has been taken in some zoo.
Right.
So of course, because the cage is there present. So normally, this photography, if you consider of your own, this is okay. But generally, in wildlife community,
Yes.
captive birds and you can say captive animals, they are not encouraged for a purpose of taking any wildlife photography. If you like the birds, definitely we cannot go to the places of this origin of this Macau. It's not possible. I think most of it is in South America. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but they are the most density. It's good to see, but still, even I can see the background is not very smooth. It's a little bit clutter, and there are some.
This
Even
patch
what
is actually creating a distraction.
and even the cage itself also both.
Yes, yes.
So both things are little. The it's a very nice thing that both are in the just in the same synchronization in the same the pair. That is the good thing what I see in the picture because both of them looking in the same way. It's like a twin. So that's lovely. But the rest of the things needs the improvement.
Right. So, I mean, that's what I mean. Even though you could have taken this picture for a record, beautiful birds and things like that, but then when it comes to the photography community, the wildlife community, you don't get that respect, even if the picture is very good or artistically taken, since it is in a controlled environment, and rightly so because uh, the effort that has gone into taking the picture is definitely not there. I mean, just traveling all the way to South America to get hold of this particular bird, and then going through the jungles and waiting hours together. So that benefit you don't have when you click pictures in zoo. So maybe we can just
Yeah, actually,
browse
wildlife
through it.
photographs anywhere, Amol, whatever you can consider. Na, this always a challenging. Every aspect you have uncertainties whether you will get it or not, and you need to probably spend many unsuccessful attempts to get one to some extent better photography.
Mandar Mantri with a street photograph. Okay.
Like the concept, very nice, holding the hands together in different parts of life. One quick comment, cropping of the last section of the hands, actually it's looking a little bit odd to my eyes. It should have been full, and the rest of it's a street photography. It's a moment going ahead, all those things. So yeah, that's right.
Right, right. So absolutely, the senior citizens with their holding hands, concept-wise, full marks, Mandar. Okay, now that you have decided on the concept, you have zeroed on your subjects, you should wait for the right moment to click that picture. So you see, the senior gentleman is looking towards left hand side. Once the lady also looks towards the right hand side, that would have facing each other. That would have given you the right moment to capture and one of your keeper pictures, right? So इन फोटोग्राफी यू हैव टू प्रीएम्प्ट थिंग्स दैट कभी ना कभी तो देखेंगे मुड़ के एक दूसरे को सो
तब
दैट
तक
विल बी
वेट
माय फ्रेम इजंट इट
यस तब तक वेट करना ही है, क्लिक ही
तब
तो
तक
करना है, लेकिन वेट करना सबसे ज्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट है.
राइट वेट करना है उनको फॉलो करना है सो दैट इज पार्ट ऑफ द फोटोग्राफी गेम इजंट इट Mr. Shankar, the tiger man of the group. I mean, he, I mean, mostly clicks tigers. He has been to all parts of all tiger safaris, I suppose. Yeah, Soumendra, your
Yeah, yeah.
comments on this.
Right. Very nice, first of all, because tiger is in action. It is looking straight towards the viewer. I love it. Very nice. Sometimes in tiger safari, you won't have any scope to choose the background. The moment is more important. So it's a nice picture. It's a very good, well taken picture. Appreciate it. Yeah. Some of the things is beyond your hand. You cannot do. You cannot change the background in the wildlife. Okay, and you have taken the right moment. I love it.
Great. So that brings us to the end of the pictures posted. Until next time. But Soumendra, what is your say now that you have seen the pictures for the last 30 minutes or so? I mean, if you have to describe or give some advice to our students as a parting gift, what it would be, Soumendra?
Yeah, right, Amol. Actually, it's always the same thing. The more you practice, you learn, you get the right feedback from the right person, so that you can know what the things improvement is there. Remember it the next time you click. Don't stop doing experiment. You should do experiment. Until unless you do experiment, you cannot create something. Rules are there to keep it in your mind, but the best pictures are made breaking the rule.
Right. So, Somendra, it was wonderful having you here. But then we are not going to let you go so easily because at the beginning we had promised our students here that you will be sharing some good pictures of yours and introducing yourself in great detail. And not to forget, people don't just leave as of now because Somendra has something amazing for us to see and dwell upon.
So I'm born and brought up in Kolkata, but for job and other purposes, I travel across the country. I was been to in Ahmedabad for a few years. I was in Bangalore, and in Mumbai. I'm here since last 13 years. तो मेरा फोटोग्राफी का पैशन तो बचपन में था। तो उसके बाद से स्पेशली व्हेन आई केम इनटू माय प्रोफेशनल वर्ल्ड एंड आई गॉट टू स्कोप टू सी टू हैव ए न्यू कैमरा टू एक्सप्लोर द थिंग्स। तो थोड़ा आगे बढ़ते रहा और बढ़ते-बढ़ते वो एक्सटेंडेड पैशन में आकर के पहुँचा व्हेन आई केम टू मुंबई सिंस अराउंड 12 इयर्स अगो। तो वी हैव एसोसिएशंस। तुम सब लोगों को पता ही है दैट व्हेन देयर इज अ गुड एसोसिएशंस यू विल गेट इवन मोर enthusiastic, you will get some extra energy to explore outdoor and explore the different genre. And I got associated with one of our leading photography groups in Mumbai, and with whom the experience with the different mentors, on-field learning, everything, it just gave me one extra punch. एंड उसके बाद मैं उस ग्रुप के अंदर से आई बिकम द टीम लीडर, देन आई बिकम द मेंटर एंड आई एम प्रेजेंटली वर्किंग एज अ मास्टर क्लास मेंटर। मैं अभी तक करीबन 40 प्लस फोटो वॉक में लीड किया हूँ। वी हैव अ कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ वीकेंड फोटोग्राफ्स, फोटो फोटो वॉक्स। मैं करीबन पोस्ट प्रोसेसिंग के ऊपर 12-13 वर्कशॉप लिया हूँ। Few of the workshops mentioned sponsored by Times of India and other leading you can say agencies, and उसके साथ साथ कुछ recognition भी मिला है मुझे। India's leading photography magazines like Best Photography, Smart Photography, many times मेरा different images publish किए। और इसमें से मेनली जो दो जॉनर मेरे लिए फेवरेट है, अमोल ने पहले ही बोल रखे। फर्स्ट इज द मैक्रो वर्ल्ड because I like all the kiddas definitely, and sometimes people get afraid of the snakes, frogs, etc. But I really enjoy. I enjoy the beauty in those. So and उसके साथ साथ मेरा second choice है, second most preferable चीज है, that is the landscape. I try to shoot different moods of the nature in landscape uh, across the country in different geography, in different locations and different moods. तो कभी-कभी ऐसे होते लोग सोचते हैं अरे बाप रे बारिश आ रही है, अभी तो बड़ा घर से निकलना मुश्किल है, लेकिन the different times and different moods are the best moods when you will get something different. तो कुछ तो करना ही पड़ता है कुछ पाने के लिए। तो लैंडस्केप फोटोग्राफी के लिए ये और एक चीज है, यू कैन प्रेडिक्ट एनीथिंग, you can't expect something that I will surely get it, but the nature is always give you something very very, you can say, which you never thought of it, that it will come to you. Okay, so it never let you down. हो सकता है शायद आपको कुछ देर के लिए एक जगह में जाकर के बैठना पड़ता है, और दूसरी बात है जब आपके साथ कोई लैंडस्केप फोटोग्राफी के लिए जा रहे हो, बहुत बड़ा चेतावनी है, एक बिग वार्निंग, डोंट टेक योर फैमिली मेंबर्स, ओके? डोंट कीप यू वेटिंग, दे टेलिंग अरे क्या हो रहा है, एक प्लेस में बैठ के 3 घंटे से क्या कर रहे हो? मैं बोल रहा हूँ नहीं, मुझे तो अभी उस आसमान की तरफ जो क्लाउड है ना, आई नीड टू एक्सपेक्ट फॉर दैट टू कम टू द राइट पोजीशन एट द राइट मोमेंट। वो जो नदिया में जो बोटमैन जा रहा है ना, मुझे पता है वो दोनों बोटमैन जो दोनों किनारे है उसके बीच में से कब आएगा, कब उसका कैनोपी ओपन रहेगा। सो आई नीड टू वेट फॉर द मोमेंट सो दैट आई कैन गेट द बेस्ट ऑफ द थिंग्स। तो राइट, तो पैशन इज एक्सटेंडेड ऑफिस का काम के साथ साथ, मेरा नॉर्मली लाइक माइंडेड फ्रेंड के साथ, दोस्तों के साथ आउटिंग्स एक्सेट्रा, एंड डेफिनेटली बाकी सच भी एक साथ मैनेज करके चलना पड़ता है। सो थिंग्स आर गोइंग ऑन। एक्चुअली नॉर्मली क्या होता है, हर साल में मैं एक या दो बड़े ट्रिप करता हूँ with only very few exclusive people, so that I can share my knowledge, I can share them what the things on field, how the things to be taken, because जो भी तुम फोटोग्राफी पढ़ो, जो भी करो, जब तक तुम फील्ड में नहीं रहोगे तब तक तुम्हें पता ही नहीं चलेगा फील्ड में क्या चैलेंजेस आ सकते हैं, व्हाट द चैलेंजेस यू फेस एंड हाउ टू टैकल देम। एंड समटाइम्स तुम्हें लगता है अरे यार ये तो गलत हो गया, लेकिन once you get the image back from the field, you see them detail, you can find some different perspective. Yes, there are some basic rules have to be there, but beyond the rules always the things will come very nice. Okay, so that's all about me. I generally take workshops. Today even itself there was a one-to-one workshop with me for one of our participants. मैं last week अपना वेस्टर्न घाट में 2-3 जगह पे मैक्रो टूर के लिए अपने ग्रुप को लेकर के गया था, with some astonishing, amazing pictures, some very rare sightings. Even one of the sightings in iNaturalist group, it is come to the research gate, and they are just checking one of the snakes that we got into our last macro trip. That is a very rare collection of the snakes. So things are going on. And definitely now I'm looking for my next, you can say, landscape trip. So I think over to Amol, you can give some of the idea of these things. So you can share the presentation. I will give some more idea of it.
Right, wonderful, Soumendra. I mean, glad to hear once again all the things from you. It's been quite some time that we haven't been in touch. Okay, so a lot of things have happened at your end, it looks like. eh? And I'm really glad and happy that you are growing day by day in the field of photography. And all the best for your future ventures. But then, Soumendra, talking about landscapes and macros, I mean, what is there in store for our members here? Master Picks, we are eagerly waiting. I'm sure you have something to offer here, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
over to you, Soumendra. Let me share the screen so that you
Okay.
can put on the presentation. And guys, I would like you to pay attention to what Soumendra has to offer.
So as Amol was telling, so this year in month of August, the week of 15th August from 12th to 19th August, I'm planning for a landscape trip to the Meghalaya. We call it Shora sometimes. I coined it magical Meghalaya because the land is actually it's magical the moment you see. Here are some of the few glimpse of the images, and जो images मैंने रखा हूँ पीपीटी के अंदर से, तो दिस इज गिव यू सम बेसिक आइडिया हाउ द थिंग्स इज देयर। इसमें से मेरा 4-5 इमेजेस जो है वो कुछ इमेज के अंदर से इट गॉट पब्लिश्ड इन मैगजीन्स, इज गॉट अवार्डेड इन सम ऑनलाइन फोटोग्राफी ग्रुप एज वेल एज ऑफलाइन फोटोग्राफी
It is
ग्रुप्स।
it is seen in full screen ahead.
Yeah, I can see it, no problem.
Right. So this
So
is what.
even yes, right. So I'm working as a masterclass mentor, and a few of the awards from different celebrities. Probably the person who is on the top left corner, you know, he is Mr. Rohinton J. Mehta, who is the chief editor of Smart Photography. And on the bottom right corner, you can see the person who is none other than by Isaac Hemiker, who is known as the Butterfly Man of India. Few of my butterfly images also been placed into his book. And on the left side you can see some of the things which got published in online as well as in some famous photography, you can say, vendor, all of you know. So it got published and it is got appreciated. Okay. Yeah. So I have not made any presentation as such. I just want to give you some glimpse what actually the Meghalaya is and what the things is there. So मेरा मेघालय का ये दिस विल बी आवर थर्ड ट्रिप. इससे पहले मैं 2 बार जा चुका हूँ एंड डेफिनेटली आई हैव एक्सप्लोर्ड समथिंग ऑफ माय ओन, some things in some nooks and corners of the country which is little different geography from us, जिनका वेदर सब कुछ चीज भी थोड़ा डिफरेंट है. तो उसके अंदर से ऐसे भी कुछ caves hai. It is very different from our conventional caves. It's actually very primitive. So inside the caves you will find amazing things over there. And definitely for a new place when you will go, you will explore the butterflies and other stuffs. And preferably I can see the flower pictures. I think the if any participants will be there, I will also help them to show how to click the things with a different perspective and to show something new to the world, right? And definitely the other macro as my genre will also try to see and capture some of the macro steps in the night. So this is the next thing. You can just visualize the full screen if you see it. The land of Nokkalikai, that is the famous waterfalls in Meghalaya. It is falling from a very high steep locations, and it's the region is very very dramatic. It's a cloud, it's a mist, it's the sun and shining everything, so it gives a very mystic feeling of the place. And this is a typical rainforest kind of environment in the Meghalaya, where you find narrow lanes going across, and there are some primitive huts kind of thing, and very dense forest. So inside it you will feel a different feeling inside it. Okay. जो लोग शायद नॉर्थ इंडिया विजिट किए हो, उसके साथ साथ थोड़ा सा इसके भी एक्सपीरियंस देखोगे तो यू विल आल्सो एंजॉय इट द सेशंस, राइट. And as I was telling the colors of the Latium, there are some massive waterfalls, although now due to some restrictions people are just putting it, but the view across the regions, it's really lovely. You will just enjoy it. The sims, the you need to just wait for the moment to some to peep up to give the colors. Okay. And this is another major waterfalls. I think one of the images of the stream अपने रिव्यू में आ गया था, तो मैं उन लोगों के लिए बता रहा हूँ. ये वाटरफॉल्स का जो इमेज है, इसमें से देख रहे हो, आई हैव यूज्ड डेलिबरेटली स्लो शटर स्पीड, लेकिन इमेज के अंदर से ये भी होना चाहिए एक थोड़ा सा. It's a dense forest, no people is there, although the image is centered across the, because main attraction is the falls which is there. And it's not a single falls, it's a falls after falls after falls, so all making together. And I believe so we'll share, if you be in the tour, if you join me into the tour, I will show the different techniques how to shoot the similar kind of photos, and you will also make a memory of. There are some few other adventurous sports going on in this place. This is called Maudok Valley, and the left side you can find the massive waterfalls which are Kramsuri. Just give one perspective of the waterfalls, how big it is. The total waterfalls, if you consider in terms of height, how much it will be approximately 90 foot and above. So taking the pictures, considering the cloud, the water flow, everything, it gives you an immense, you can say, experience. And the right side one जो पिक्चर आप लोग देख रहे हो, ये एक different kind of मेघालय के टाइप में एक पत्थर का स्ट्रक्चर रहते हैं. It's a hole and through which the water will flow, and it will come out at some distance place. You don't know where it will come out. So that's the very amazing things to see in Meghalaya, one after another, cascading of waterfalls. And what Meghalaya is also known for, that is called the Living Root Bridge. It is not any bridge constructed by synthetic materials, cement or anything. Only the roots of the leaf constitutes the bridge. For taking these shots, I need to get down to the river bed. I need to wait for some time for the rain to settle down. Because हम लोग जिस समय में जा रहे हैं, that is in the month of August. Yes, there will be rain, but when there is no rain, there should not be any greenery. And Meghalaya rain is little bit different. It's not like torrential rain. हो रहा है, continuous हो रहा है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. Rain आएगा, बंद हो जाएगा, तुरंत you will find the shining things and you need to get set ready. Click it, come out, and get some amazing pictures. And here are the few other places. We call it a garden of caves on the right picture, and different stone structures. मैं जैसे बोल रहा था, वहां पर कुछ पत्थर के अंदर से पानी आते, जाकर के खो जाते, फिर आकर के और एक जगह से निकलते. तो ऐसी एक जगह जहां से पानी निकल रहा है बाहर से. Left side जो picture है, this is also near to the Dianthilin. This is also an amazing place. One after another waterfalls. This photo was very challenging for me because the level from where I have shoot this picture, you can see it is almost submerged in my knee deep water. Okay, so I will definitely you need to get a different perspective when you'll go to that level. Okay, shooting. And this is another amazing place where the uh, water level is so transparent, you can see even uh, many feet inside the river, totally visible. This place is known as Dauki, which is a border of India and Bangladesh. And there are boatmen who ply across these places. There are even some amazing pictures, but I've just shown you one just pictures for you. And this is the typical Meghalaya skyscape, how it will come, how people will go, how people will explore the places, explore the things. And this is one of my favorite pictures of Meghalaya. We called it cascade waterfalls, one after another, one after another. It just go on floating across the places. So I was telling in my review, so जब कोई इमेज के अंदर से विजन बहुत दूर तक जाते हैं ना, you can just feel the place, and you can see the water level. It should be silky smooth. The sky, it is so dramatic. So all the elements for a photography, it should be captured and get it. But you need to wait for some time. This image has been published and given a good ovation across the platforms, including some famous camera brand also. Right? Yeah. Sure.
Great. I mean, amazing picture, Soumendra. I mean, the waterfall, the landscape, the sky, everything is perfect in this particular picture.
This is another mood of the same, and this is two other pictures. I think last time I just tried to compile both of the things. Sometimes black and white also give a different punch. Actually, Amol, I should make it into two different pages. Sometimes actually it got messed up. Sorry for the reason. And right side, what I was telling, the cascade of the waterfalls. Na, if you take either took the picture from the bottom side or took the picture from the top side, so that you can see the different layers how it is coming. Okay, the vision should not get stuck up. You should have something in the foreground, you should have something midground as well as background. It will go and go on. So the mist and fog it always gives you. And last picture, it is just a compilation of the picture of different macro species. So those people who are the macro lovers, and just to give one idea, macro pictures is not always needed for the macro lens. It is more important how the light you can control and how the species you will capture. Okay, so this is just a jumbled up of different species. Those people who are passionate about the macro, North is an amazing place because most of the things are unexplored there. So I hope so. I will also plan some trip in Arunachal Pradesh as well as those regions, because they are actually and unexplored places and immense treasure is still there. Okay, so Amol, that's all. So
So, Soumendra, the Meghalaya is exclusively landscape, is it? Or you will be exploring macro as well?
thing is that if there is a scope, we'll definitely try to cover macro because most of the macros has been shoot in the night. Okay.
Okay.
So daytime, what we prefer, we'll try to shoot the landscape. We will shoot the waterfalls. Okay, we'll travel to one of the places. We try to shoot the people also because those are the local people. They are having a very different culture, right? We try to capture those cultures. But as you know, my passion is macro, so we'll definitely capture some macro. And one of my good friends of the Meghalaya, he will be also with us. He is an ace macro photographer, and definitely he also like the photography like all of us. So I am very much optimistic. I'm very much, you can say, excited for that tour to come.
Right, right. So wonderful, Soumendra, and thank you for explaining to us in such great detail about your forthcoming Meghalaya tour, which is starting in August. And I'm sure you would be discussing the greater details of it in the next slide, right? But then, I mean, your presentation was so I mean, encouraging and so much fun that even I feel like joining you in this particular Meghalaya tour.
So, Amol, that will be a great pleasure going together. It will be an amazing experience for all of us, the
Right?
like-minded, the passionate
For
people
the
with the same
for
purpose.
the for the old time sakes, definitely. But then, if my students, any of them are ready to participate in this particular Meghalaya tour, they can expect not only the expertise of Soumendra, but then you can also find yours truly, Amol Patil, with you, clicking pictures and sharing his knowledge, his tips, techniques, and helping you out with your photography journey. So, ek se bhale do, isn't it, Soumendra?
Sure, sure, Rahul. Actually, not all. I have not captured any financial details just to explain these things. I have
Okay,
set up because it's a dedicated photography trip, so we need to do some odd hour things. We need to make provisions for special vehicles with us. जो अपने साथ odd hours में रहे. It is not a travel and leisure trip, and it is very limited people only. So only dedicated for the photography purpose. Apart from the airfare from any place, whatever you can come, I have made an estimated cost of 45,000 for that trip, inclusive of everything from 12th to 19th. Okay, so this is the figure. But definitely based on circumstances, we will try to see what the things. There are some unforeseen events may happen at any point of time, which is as a disclaimer. But we'll try to see the cost should not go anything which is, you can say, overbearing to us or any of on us. It is not actually so-called a very specific trip dedicated for any commercial benefit or other things. We are just doing it to give in with very close community of the people, so that I can share my knowledge, I can let them explore and give them some
right.
opportunity to visualize some of the amazing places across the Maharashtra, not as a tourist point of view, but as a photographer's point of view. So that's all.
So, all my students from Masterpix who are interested in landscape photography and want to explore the genre in great detail at a beautiful location like Meghalaya with experts like Soumendra and yours truly, Amol Patil, this is a must go.
Yeah, but I don't want to make many participants because it is making we just want to put full attention to each and every participants. So
Okay,
already three of my friends already, including myself, we are confirmed. We are going to book the tickets in another 2 3 days, so so that we can compile, we can make the things in unison, so that people and
okay.
just
So you are already four now. Okay,
we are
so
already three now. Yes, right. Three now.
four.
What I can expect maximum we can go up to the five, not more than that.
Okay, so two, three participants more max.
Correct. Absolutely.
Right,
Maximum
right.
two participants
So
more.
you heard it right from Soumendra that the seats are limited for the next two, three participants only. So whoever is interested, please get in touch with me as mentioned. The dates, Soumendra, please tell the dates once again.
Yes, once again, I am telling this is in the month of August. 12th August is the Saturday. We'll start in the morning, and the 19th August is the Saturday, the day when we'll return. Okay. So 12th to 19th, it's a total 8 days program.
Right. So 12 to 19, please check out the dates in the calendar, your availability and your schedules. And highly recommended, I would say. And as I said, I would also be joining Soumendra if any of you would be actually joining this particular tour. So count me in. So if you privilege my company along with Soumendra and feel it is beneficial for your photography learning, then definitely join in. Only two, three participants max, as Soumendra mentioned, and 45,000 is the ballpark cost. The exact details will be communicated to the serious participants once he confirms it to me. Right,
Correct.
Soumendra?
Yes, absolutely. With the details of the tour plan, where we are staying, what the things we are doing. Because this is not the first time I'm going. I have already gone there. I know the place. I know the things. So I can give you in details what the things we are doing it and how we are exploring these things. Yes, definitely.
Great. So thanks, Soumendra. Thanks for your inputs on photographs. Thanks for your Meghalaya tour itinerary. And definitely, I mean, I would be interested. Let's see if my other students would also like to join us. And I will definitely keep you posted on that.